These are the supplies that you will need to create a vocabulary flip chart to study your vocabulary words. I'm going to show you how to make this flip chart. First, you're going to start off with index cards, note cards that you're going to use with your vocabulary words. You should have a little sheet of paper with your words. Count your words. There happen to be 17 for chapter 1. And then you need half that amount of note cards. So I have 9 note cards, so I'll have an extra one when I'm done. I can make one mistake. You're going to begin by cutting your note cards in half. So you'll take your scissors and you'll just cut each note card in half until they're all cut in half. If they're ever so slightly off, it's okay. So I have my note cards all cut. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to write the names or the vocabulary word on the note card, but I'm not going to take up all the space and write largely. I'm just going to write it at the very bottom. You can write it so that you can see it, but don't write extremely large. You will do this for all of your vocabulary words. I'm just going to do a couple to show you how to get started. Do one more here. Okay, so that's just an example. You will go through it and you'll write it for all of your words. Now, once you're done writing on your words, what you're going to do is you're going to take a file folder and you're going to cut it in half. This you could share with a neighbor. You only need 1/2 of your file folder. So once you have it cut in half, you can share. Your partner can have the other one. So you're going to open up your file folder, and I like to use the side that doesn't have the printing on it, just to make it look nicer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape each one of these into my flip book. And the secret is that you need to start at the bottom and work your way up so that you can overlap correctly. Because if you overlap this way, now I don't see the word that I just wrote. So I'm going to want to overlap them this direction. So here's what you'll do. You'll start at the bottom and you'll put one card in. So you set it there, put tape just at the top, and now it's in the flip book. See how it flips up and down. Next, you'll take your next card and place it so that you can still see the entire word below it, and line it up so that it looks nice. Take a piece of tape and put it at the top. You will continue to do this until all of your words are on the page. I like to start close to the edge so that I can put 2 columns of words onto my flip chart. If you run out of space, you can always continue up to the top, but start a new bottom row. Don't ever have one in the middle or it will get folded when you fold up your book. I have skipped ahead a little bit and written out all of our words so you can see what it looks like when you have them all done. If you end up with one row longer than the other, it's okay. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to use your math book. And in your math book, if you open to the back, you'll see a bluish purple section that is the glossary. It's kind of like a dictionary for the words inside of a book. And you're going to look up each word. So it doesn't matter what I start with, but I'm going to go ahead and start with my top word here. It's exponents. And so I'm going to go alphabetically to E in the glossary and find exponents. Notice in your book that on the left-hand side, you see the words in red and they're English. On the right-hand side, you see the words in blue, and that's Spanish. So I'm looking at the words in English because that's easier for me. And here, exponent. I'm going to read this. It says, in a power, the number that tells how many times the base is used as a factor. I need to think about what this means, but it helps me here. It shows an example. It says, in 5 to the 3rd power, the exponent is 3. That is 5 to the third power is 5 times 5 times 5. So it's showing me that this base number is multiplied 3 times. So in my own words, I'm going to say an exponent is the amount of times you multiply the base. So I'm going to flip my exponent card over, and on the line side here, I'm going to write the amount of times a base is multiplied. Notice in my definition that I did not put the word exponent. That's for when you are studying. You want to be able to read this and then guess or practice what that word is. If I wrote an exponent is the amount of times a base is multiplied, I would already know that my word was exponent, and it would be harder to use this to study from. If there's something that can help you remember, like a picture of the word exponent, you can choose if the picture should belong on the outside or on the inside. Will it help you to remember the definition, or is it a giveaway? If it's a giveaway, you're going to want to put it on the inside. So I might even want to put my example. 5 to the third power. This is what I'm looking for. That's the exponent. Again, I did not write the word exponent in there. And I might just write a reminder that that is 5 times 5 times 5. When you're all finished, then when you flip it back over, this is your cover. I have decorated my cover. And I think that it's important that you put the chapter number. For this one, it's chapter 1. And that it is extremely important that you put your name on it so that if it gets lost, it can be handed back to you. Also, make sure that you put your class period. So since Mrs. Larson teaches all the classes, I'll just pretend like I am period 1. I'll just write period 1.